Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Kate, and here on my channel I talk about true crime, mysteries, history, and anything that interests me. Please remember to show your support by liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and hitting the notification bell so that you never miss out on any of my future videos. Wow, what a day, what a day. My back hurts. I fell asleep on the couch. It hurts so bad. Anyway, moving along. Thank you so much for being here with me. It really means the world to me. Still a small channel, so with you guys' help I know I can get there. Yeah, go grab a snack. Let's dive into another story. I was about to say true crime story, but a story. Okay, so today's story, it isn't really a true crime story. Well, kind of, like there is crime in it, but it's more of a story about a man who I absolutely freaking adore for his amazing talent and his strength. So today I am going to be talking about Chester Bennington. I'm sure we've all heard of him, and if you haven't, where have you been? Alright, with that, let's jump in. Okay, so Chester. He was born Chester Charles Bennington. He was born in Phoenix, Arizona on March the 20th, 1976. He had a mum who was a nurse and a dad who was actually in law enforcement. So his dad was a police detective working on child SA cases, which is quite ironic considering what went on to happen later to Chester. So Chester had two sisters and an older brother, and he took an interest in music at a really young age. This guy loved music from like day dot. He loved all sorts of music as well. Like he was into, obviously, rock. He liked metal. He liked hip hop. He liked everything. He dreamed of becoming a member of Stone Temple Pilots and would later actually become their lead singer for a short time. So when Chester was only 7 years old, this is the really horrible part, he was SA'd by somebody that he knew and trusted. It was a friend, and this guy, he just repeatedly SA'd Chester until he was 13. Chester was afraid to ask for help at the time because he didn't want people to think that he was gay or a liar. So he kind of kept it to himself. But years later, he did reveal the abuser's name to his dad and started to open up about what had happened to him. But he did choose not to press charges. So when Chester was just 11 years old, his parents went through a divorce, which had a profound impact on his life. As it would, you know, one minute you got parents together and then they're not. So this difficult situation at home and the emotional turmoil that he experienced with the SA led him to feel really overwhelmed. Like he had really overwhelming thoughts of wanting to escape, like get the heck out of there. And to find solace, Chester turned to drawing intricate pictures and channeling his emotions into heartfelt poetry and songs. So he started songwriting. So after his parents' divorce, Chester's dad got custody of him, and it was around this time that Chester turned to alcohol, marijuana, opium, cocaine, meth, and LSD. That's a lot. That is a lot. He was also treated like complete shit at school. Kids bullied him relentlessly. The other kids, they would bully him in high school, and he thought it was because of his appearance and his slender build, because he said that he was a bit of an awkward, awkward dude. But yeah, kids can be so freaking cruel. His actual words, he said, "I was knocked around like a rag doll at school." So to those kids, who are obviously now adults, shame on you. And look what he grew up to be. Awesome. Kids can just be such assholes. I was also bullied at school. It freaking sucked. It really sucked. And one day I was in like year 10, so I was 14, and I actually asked my ex-best friend why she started bullying me. and she told me it was because it was fun. That's right, biatch. You know who you are. Anyway, moving on. When Chester was 17, he moved in with his mum, but apparently she kind of put him on lockdown, like a punishment, because she found out that he was doing drugs and drinking and stuff. So I'm assuming it was like, like a grounding situation. I guess she was trying to, teach him a lesson, punish him, help him. I don't know. But before embarking on his career as a professional musician, Chester actually worked at Burger King. Cool, yum. I worked at Burger King. I also worked at Hungry Jack's. So when I was living in Australia, I worked at Hungry Jack's. That's like Burger King-ish. Good times. Chester, he started his singing career in a band called Sean Dodell and his friends, and they released a cassette with 3 songs in 1993. Do you guys remember tapes? God, that makes me feel old. I remember I used to listen to the radio and record the songs on the radio on my tapes. I'd be like, record. So later, Chester and Sean formed another band, and it was called Grey Days, which played a style of rock called post-grunge. Then, in 93, the band recorded a demo and then released 2 albums. They were Wake Me in 94 and No Sun Today in 97. So he started his career quite early on and quite quickly, right? Then Chester left this band in 98, and he was a bit frustrated because at this point in his life, he wanted to be a part of a band that was going somewhere, that he felt was going somewhere, and he was struggling to find that perfect band for him. He was even about to give up on his music career completely, and I am so freaking glad that he didn't, because, he's awesome. And Linkin Park wouldn't even exist without him. And also, Chester and Linkin Park, they were a huge part of my teen years. And even now, I freaking love them. They're awesome. Yeah, their music got me through some pretty rough times. So I'm very, very, very committed to Linkin Park. Chester's voice, it just gives me goosebumps, still to this day. And whenever I hear Linkin Park playing in the car, I kind of tell my kids to, shh, it's Chester, and they know exactly what I'm talking about, and they just stop talking. It's kind of adorable. I'm listening to Linkin Park, it's like, shush, Chester, and they're like, my kids are very aware that Chester has passed away, and they, need to show some respect when mummy is listening to her Linkin Park. Anyway, moving forward. So Jeff Blue, he was the vice president of A&R at Zomba Music in LA, and he provided Chester with an opportunity to audition with the future members of Linkin Park, then known as Zero. So of course, Chester was like, yes, I want this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to jump at this. And he left everything. He quit his job. He quit his day job. And he travelled to California for the audition. He even left his own birthday party early to go and record for this audition. Yeah, he wanted it. He went for it, and he got it. And despite facing numerous rejections from music companies, Chester and Mike Shinoda, we all know who Mike Shinoda is, right? You should. They persevered, and they continued to work their butts off, and they got their band recognised. We all know who Mike Shinoda is, right? Those who aren't fans, I'm sure there's some of you. Mike is the other vocalist in Linkin Park, so he kind of does the more, he raps and stuff. Okay, anyway, they're struggling a bit, they're really trying to make a name for themselves, and this is when Jeff Blue, he pops up again. He's going to help them. And Jeff, who had since become vice president of A&R at Warner Records, he helps the band and he signs them up to the label. How freaking cool is that? That's right. Bob's your uncle, Linkin Park is born. Nice. And this makes for a very happy Kate. Yeah, they were awesome. My teen years, my goodness. So on October the 24th, 2000, Linkin Park dropped their first album, Hybrid Theory with Warner Records. Brilliant. Chester and Mike, they penned the lyrics based on their early experiences and emotions, and you could really feel like, when Chester was singing, like he really meant a lot of what he was saying. Mike explained that the lyrics were about everyday feelings and experiences that most people, everyone, can relate to. Chester later told Rolling Stone magazine in early 2002 that the song Crawling wasn't about feeling sorry for himself, but it was about owning up to his own feelings and actions. So he was kind of talking about, his addiction and that kind of thing. And he stressed that the song was about realizing the role that he played in his own struggles. So Chester said, "I don't say you at any point. It's about how I'm the reason that I feel this way. There's something inside me that pulls me down." So I feel like he isn't fully to blame for how he felt and whatever bad things, he had done or been through. This guy was molested as a child, and that shit would really F you up. So I don't feel like he's fully to, blame. Anyway, Chester was the main lead singer in Linkin Park, but he sometimes shared the role with Mike. A lot of the time he shared the role with Mike. According to All Music Guide, Chester's singing was described as higher pitched and emotional, while Mike had more of a hip-hop style. They actually sounded really freaking good together. Like, has everyone listened to Linkin Park? Sure, come on. They're pretty awesome. They would collaborate and they would write their music together. Like, they'd just sit there for hours just writing. Hybrid Theory went diamond in 2005, and their second album, Meteora, that was released in 2003, and their third, Minutes to Midnight, was 2007. Both hit #1 on the Billboard 200 chart. I know, right? Did you know that Linkin Park has sold over 70 million albums and 30 million singles worldwide? Amazing, right? They are that freaking good. Yeah. Then in 2003, MTV2 ranked them as the 6th greatest band of the music video era and the 3rd best of new millennium. They were doing so well. They were just like chucking albums out, like working their butts off. Billboard also listed Linkin Park as number 19 on the Best Artists of the Decade chart. Plus, in 2012, they were voted the greatest artists of the 2000s in a VH1 poll. Absolutely deserved, because they were great. Chester also had a couple of side hustles. So you would think, oh, he's too busy to be doing anything else. But no, he had side hustles. In 2005, he actually co-founded a band called Dead by Sunrise, which was an electronic rock band from LA with members from Orgy and Julian Kay and Ryan Shuck. Dead by Sunrise had their first live show in May of 2008 at the 13th anniversary party for Club Tattoo in Arizona, and the band released their only album, Out of Ashes, on October the 13th, 2009. So he wasn't just, rocking it out with Linkin Park, he was doing other things. Then, after parting ways with their longtime lead singer, Scott Weiland, in February of 2013, a band called Stone Temple Pilots brought in Chester. So he was going to take his place, and this was in 2013. Chester made his debut with this band on May 18th, 2013 at KROQ's Weenie Roast. Weenie. Anyway, the performance... oh my God. The performance featured original Stone Temple Pilots songs and their first single with Chester on vocals, Out of Time, which was released for free download on May 19th through their official website. So this guy, working his butt off, honestly. In an exclusive KROQ interview, Chester and the band officially announced that he was their new frontman and hinted at the possibility of a new album and a tour. So this song, Out of Time, is part of their EP High Rise, which hit the shelves on October the 8th, 2013. Chester had thought about joining Stone Temple Pilots for a long time. He loved them. He really loved their music. He looked up to them. And he finally got there, you know? He said that every band has its own vibe. Stone Temple Pilots has like this sexier, more classic rock feel to it. Linkin Park, it's more of a, modern and tech-heavy band. But I love them. Anyway, he said that he grew up listening to these guys, and when this opportunity popped up, he was like, no brainer, doing it. Good on him. So Chester, he always dreamed of being the lead singer in Stone Temple Pilots, and he left the band on good terms in 2015 because, he had commitments with Linkin Park, and they were getting huge and, very demanding work. So, yeah. Also, back in 2005, so we're going back to 2005, Chester showed up on Walking Dead, the main single from DJ Z Trip's first album, Shifting Gears. That's right. He even surprised everyone by making a guest appearance during Z Trip's set at the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival in 2005. So later that year, Chester recorded Motley Crue's Home Sweet Home as a duet with the band for a charity single to help the victims of Hurricane Katrina. I know, really cool, eh? Motley Crue. We all know who. We better know. Anyway, Tommy Lee. Yeah. Then in 2006, he joined Alice in Chains on stage to perform Man in the Box at KROQ's Inland Invasion Festival. And in 2016, Chester rocked out with Kings of Chaos during their 6-show concert tour. This guy, busy as heck, and he's got a family at home. I'll get there soon. So back in 2007, he appeared on a song called Slow Your Roll by Young Buck from his Buck the World album. Chester also recorded a track for Slash's first solo album in 2010, but it didn't get released. So Slash ended up re-recording it with Lemmy on vocals, and it was renamed Dr. Alibi. Have you heard of it? Yeah? No? Okay. Finally, in May 2021, a snippet of the original Chester track was released. Cool, huh? Very cool. Chester had an amazing voice, and it stayed so strong throughout his whole career. There were moments where, he chilled out for a bit because that shit would hurt. Well, he does. This man was truly gifted, and I can't believe that it's been 7 years since he's been gone. It's crazy. We lost a truly amazing musician that day, honestly. Chester's voice, it truly captured the emotions in the lyrics, from the vulnerable moments to the powerful screams that he could switch between in, just an instant. He was amazing. It's just so friggin' sad. I really felt what he was saying, in his music. Linkin Park have a new vocalist now, but I honestly don't think anyone can replace Chester. Just saying. I don't think she's trying to replace Chester. Maybe that's why they got a female. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll listen to them. Because I just feel like, Linkin Park was Linkin Park because of Chester. Chester and Mike. But Chester. Chester was Linkin Park, right? Anyway, Chester said that he was influenced by Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains, Arcade Fire, Circle Jerks, Descendants, Deftones, love, Jane's Addiction, Metallica, love, Refused, Ministry, Minor Threat, Misfits, love, The Naked and Famous, 9 Inch Nails, love, Nirvana, loved, Pearl Jam, love, Skinny Puppy, Soundgarden, and A Tribe Called Quest. So he had a bunch of bands that he loved. Chester also considered himself a huge Madonna fan, crediting her for making him grow up wanting to be a musician. I know. I don't know what the hype is though. I don't really like Madonna, no offense. Anyway, so, okay, we're going to go and look at, not go, but we're going to listen to Chester's personal life. So Chester, he was a dad, and he absolutely adored his children. He had a son in 1996 with his girlfriend Alka Brand. Then in 2006, he adopted and officially became the father of Alka's other son. This child was born in 97. He tied the knot with his first wife, Samantha Marie Ollett, on October the 31st, 1996, and they had a child together in 2002. Yeah. But unfortunately, Chester's relationship with his first wife, it kind of broke down during his early years with Linkin Park. Things were just really busy. He was, in and out of rehab, and they ended up getting divorced in 2005. So in 2006, Chester tied the knot with Talinda Ann Bentley. She's a former Playboy model, and they had 3 children together. Their first child was born in 2006, followed by twins in 2011. Also, the couple, they went through some stuff. They faced harassment from a cyber stalker who was actually later convicted in 2008 for tampering with their email and their personal information, as well as sending threatening messages, because that person does not have a life. Yeah, idiot. Who does that? Seriously, come on. Chester was super into tattoos, and he had collaborated with Club Tattoo, a tattoo shop in Arizona. I also love tattoos. I have heaps. So I've got like a little bit here, and then I got this, and then I got them on my back, and then where's the other one? Oh, on my leg. Anyway, so he was like really into tattoos, and he collaborated with this tattooist, and he actually went to school with this guy. So yeah, Chester really loved sports and was a big fan of the Phoenix Suns in the NBA, the Arizona Cardinals in the NFL, the Arizona Diamondbacks in the MLB, the Arizona Coyotes in the NHL, and the English soccer team Ipswich Town. Yeah. In a January 2011 interview, Chester commented on the 2011 Tuscan shooting. He said, "You can express yourself and make your point without resorting to violence, no matter what you're trying to say. In a free society, everyone can believe what they want. It's their business, and they can speak their mind. But no one, even in a free society, has the right to take another person's life. Ever." So well said. Also, Chester didn't hold back when it came to criticizing the president. This was Donald Trump. There's been a few moments where I've criticized Trump. And back in January of 2017, he actually tweeted that Trump was a greater threat to the USA than terrorism. Trump is a bit of a twit. I'm just saying. This tweet made waves again in July of 2020 after Linkin Park took action against Donald Trump for using "In the End" in an ad for his re-election campaign that year. And it's like, why are you using their song? They don't like you. Just saying. Also, during the making of Meteora, Chester had a lot of health problems, and he had trouble making it to some of their recording sessions. And in the summer of 2003, he started having really, really bad stomach pain and gut issues while he was also shooting a music video. So the music video he was shooting was Numb, and they were in Prague. He had to go back to the US for surgery and finished filming the rest of the music video in LA. So go watch Numb. He was in pain when he was doing that, but he did amazing. Then in October of 2007, Chester messed up his wrist. He jumped off a platform during a show in Melbourne at the Rod Laver Arena, And yeah, he kind of broke his wrist. And even with this injury, he toughed it out and he finished that entire show with a broken wrist. Like a freaking trooper. After that, he went to the emergency room and he got 5 stitches. What a champ. Then in 2011, Chester, he got sick again, and Linkin Park, they had to cancel 3 of their shows and reschedule 2 from the A Thousand Suns World Tour. Chester seemed to get sick quite often. Yeah, his health wasn't the best. He also hurt his shoulder during the band's tour in Asia and was told by doctors to have surgery right away, which led to the cancellation of their final show in Florida. And also the tour was done. So Chester, he was really struggling. He had depression and he had, substance abuse issues, but he overcame his drug addiction and denounced drug use in later interviews. So he got away from it. He battled with alcoholism during his tenure with Linkin Park, which he overcame following an intervention from his bandmates. So he was drinking a bit too much, a bit way too much, and they intervened. Then in 2011, he said that he had quit drinking, and he actually said, "I just don't want to be that person anymore." And I can totally relate to that, completely relate to that. I'm an recovering alcoholic myself, and that's what I tell myself whenever I, get a craving or an urge to drink. I just tell myself, remind myself, I don't want to be that shit person, because when I drink, I'm an asshole. Anyway, alcoholism is so freaking hard to overcome, but it can be done. I'm proof of that. I'm sober. It's great. Chester also hurt his ankle in January of 2015 while playing basketball. So he's just banging himself up all over the place. He did try to deal with the injury. He was using crutches and a knee scooter so that he could still perform. Oh my God, can you just imagine him on a knee scooter? That would be adorable because he's so cute. But yeah, Linkin Park, they had to cancel the rest of their tour so that Chester could go and have surgery. This guy was always having surgery. My goodness. He was so prone to injury. Like, actually, so prone to injury. Also, Chester and Chris Cornell, they were tight buddies. We've all heard of Chris Cornell, right? I will be very disappointed if you haven't. They had hit it off during a tour they did together in the mid-2000s. The bond between them, it grew and grew, and they became like such good friends. It grew so strong. And they were basically like, like brothers from another mother. Chester actually hopped on stage with Chris to jam out Hunger Strike by Temple of the Dog, and then Chris kind of like returned the favor by joining Linkin Park to sing Crawling. So they're just like jumping on stage with each other. That's so freaking cool. On top of all that, Chester was Chris's kid's godfather. How cool is that? So yeah, awesome. They were basically brothers from another mother, like completely tight, fully tight, loved each other. I remember, this is sad, I remember when Chris passed away in May of 2017, it was really sad. Chester actually had shared on Instagram how he couldn't imagine a world without Chris. Like, his heart was broken. This guy like really felt, the loss of his friend. Mike Shinoda mentioned that Chester was really emotional when they performed One More Light in honor of Chris Cornell on Jimmy Kimmel Live. He could hardly keep himself together. Chester, he couldn't actually finish singing the song during rehearsal because he was so upset. He just lost, basically his brother. The band was supposed to play their single Heavy on the show, but Chester, he couldn't. He decided that he wanted to do, a song for his friend, the One More Light, instead. So, yeah, so sad. If you don't know, Chris, he took his own life, sadly. He battled with some demons, yeah. So then on May 26, 2017, a week after his Kimmel performance, Chester sang Leonard Cohen's song Hallelujah at Chris Cornell's funeral in LA. So sad. Such a sad time. All the good ones are gone now, right? Okay, this next part, it's going to be really, really, really freaking hard for me to talk about. But yeah, I'm warning you. I'm about to talk about Chester's death. So if you aren't up to hearing this, please do click out. Come back another time. I'm sure we all are aware of how Chester died. But yeah, here we go. So on July the 20th, 2017, the music world was completely shook by the tragic news that 41-year-old Chester Bennington was discovered deceased at his home in California. He had taken his own life by hanging, and apparently he hadn't left a suicide note. The toxicology reports only found a trace amount of alcohol in his system. So remember, he had quit alcohol, but they found some, just a tiny bit though. There are people out there that believe that Chester was killed, but I don't know. I'm not going to go into that. Everyone can think what they want. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. So if you think Chester was killed, go whatever. I'm just gonna, I want to base this on the facts that are presented. Also, following an investigation of Chester's bedroom, a prescription bottle of Zolpidem, it's a sleeping medication, was found, along with a small amount of beer. So he had a little bit of beer. Yeah. Additionally, Chester's wife, she later shared with reporters that her husband had been an outpatient at a treatment program at that time, so he was struggling a wee bit at this time. And when I say a wee bit, probably a lot. Linkin Park obviously had to cancel the rest of their One More Light World tour, and they refunded all the tickets, which is amazing because a lot of bands don't, right? So Chester's funeral, it was held on July the 29th, and in addition to his family members and close friends, there were so many musicians that showed up. People, there was a stage, and musicians, they could get up on the stage and sing. This service was apparently really amazing. Chester was actually featured in a episode of Carpool Karaoke shortly before he passed away. I think I read that it was a couple of weeks before he died. And his family allowed that episode to be aired. So that was shown on October the 12th, 2017. And at the 2017 MTV Video Music Awards, Jared Leto paid tribute to Chester and Chris Cornell, which got a lot of attention from the media. I actually quite like Jared Leto now. It's weird. I never used to like his band, but I do now. Anyway, some of Chester's former bandmates, they came together for a tribute concert in Las Vegas in September. Linkin Park, they held a public tribute for Chester in Los Angeles on October the 27th, titled Linkin Park and Friends Celebrate Life in honor of Chester Bennington. Freaking sad, right? The event included the band's first performance after Chester's death, as well as performances from other bands and artists. So everyone was kind of rallying around Chester's bandmates and his family. Everyone was being super supportive. Also, after Chester passed away, many musicians did pay tribute to him by performing his songs during their own concerts. I know. Artists like Muse, Machine Gun Kelly, Imagine Dragons, and others covered Linkin Park's songs, especially Crawling, to honour Chester's memory. Yeah. I got this massive chunk in my throat. Producer Marcus Schulz, he created a special version of the Linkin Park song In the End as a way to honour Chester after he passed away. And he first played this new version at Tomorrowland. So in addition, in the video for Hold On to Memories by Disturbed, they paid tribute to Chester and other musicians who are no longer with us. Because Disturbed are freaking amazing. You guys probably think that Linkin Park's my favorite band. No, it's Disturbed. I freaking love Disturbed. Oh, they're amazing. Yeah, anyway, moving forward. Am I blushing? Also, Limp Bizkit. Fred Durst, he shared that Chester had a special ability to make everyone feel valued and understood. He described Chester as someone who spread positivity and empowerment, even though he may have been dealing with personal struggles. So he was like trying to make everyone feel good. According to Fred Durst, Chester always tried to shine a light on the darker aspects of life, despite the challenges that he was going through himself. Which is true. Listen to the music, seriously. So after his passing, in 2017, I can't believe it was 2017, 7 years, Linkin Park, they obviously took a break, and they didn't go on tour, and they, stopped doing music, basically. So Linkin Park takes a break, and they put out a couple of special editions. There was Hybrid Theory and Meteora in 2020 and 2023, and a greatest hits album called Paper Cuts in 2024. Then on September the 5th of this year, so just been, like last month, they announced that they would make a comeback after 7 years to release a new album called From Zero, which is set to come out in November, so like next month. Whoa. Quite crazy. Crazy. They plan to go on a 6-date international tour to support this album. The band also introduced 2 new members, so the Linkin Park looks a wee bit different these days. Yeah. So the new singer is Emily Armstrong. She is kind of taking Chester's place, but not. I feel like they got a woman on purpose. And then there was a new drummer. I can't remember his name. Yeah. So Chester and Linkin Park's musical legacy has been praised all over the world by so many people. Like AllMusic's Andrew Leahy, he noted that Linkin Park's success in the 2000s was due to their blend of alternative metal, hip-hop, modern rock, and like electric sort of music with a focus on the vocal interplay between Chester and Mike Shinoda. So when they're so, it's different. You got like Chester being all like screaming and being amazing, and then you got Mike Shinoda like rapping away. It's cool. So according to Billboard's Dan Weiss, Chester made nu metal popular among a wide audience, establishing himself as an important figure for fans of various music styles. Chester's awesome. Fred Durst, again, lead singer of Limp Bizkit, said that without Chester Bennington's voice and lyrics, nu metal wouldn't have become so popular and impacted so many people. Yeah, I believe that. Chester really did have a unique talent. He could blend raw, edgy vocals with smooth tunes. Like he was amazing. This set him apart from other singers of his time and even from the artists who inspired him. Chester, he was into all sorts of music. So, you look at him and you hear him and stuff and you think, oh, he's into rock and metal and, stuff like that. No, he was into everything. He was into emo at a time. And during the time, it's when, like, heavy metal was the thing. And he was also really into, like, hip-hop. Yeah. He managed to blend his love for hip-hop into his music in a way, like, by working with Mike Shinoda. Even though, he wasn't your typical hip-hop artist. Chester's mix of industrial and hardcore punk helped Linkin Park survive the decline of rap rock. Because, like, not many people like rap rock. I guess you just got to do it right. And they do. Linkin Park did an amazing job. He was called a rock music polymath for his diverse talents. Chester really was the voice of a generation. And his voice was amazing. He it was Linkin Park's biggest strength. I believe that. Chester has told many, many, many emotional stories that resonated with millions of people, making them feel like, they're understood. Yeah. And his band's powerful music amplified this feeling, taking listeners from their private struggles to like a shared experience with thousands of others. You didn't feel alone. Chester was known for being really open. Oh my God, I'm going to start crying. What the fuck? Oh shit, I dropped the F-bomb. He was really open about his mental health struggles, and he played a big role in shaping the hard rock music of his time. Of course, I'm going to cry. I'm a wimp. He was a source of inspiration for so many people, and his impact, it reached across different genres like rock, metal, and rap. Chester's wife, she also launched a campaign called 320 Changes Direction in honor of her husband to help break the stigma surrounding mental illness. Because mental health can be so freaking difficult. Also in 2020, during a live stream on Twitch, Mike Shinoda confirmed that there's a Linkin Park song called Friendly Fire that hasn't been released. This song includes vocals that Chester recorded during the One More Light sessions. So yeah, they had like a secret song. So it was finally released in February of 2024, this year. So before Chester passed away, he had just finished working with Mark Morton. I'm going to assume like some of you know who that is. So Mark's the guitarist from Lamb of God. He did a song called Cross Off for Mark's solo album called Anesthetic. Mark mentioned in interviews that Chester was really excited because he was going to try, some more heavier music than he was used to, because Lamb of God, like, they're real hardcore. But they're awesome as well. And Chester was, really looking forward to doing this. But yeah. And so Chester was so excited about, trying out some heavier music. And the music video for Cross Off, it actually pays tribute to Chester by featuring an empty microphone. That made me cry, honestly. So I wondered why Chester never reported the guy who essayed him. And it's apparently because the guy was abused himself. So Chester chose not to report him. There's also a statute of limitations on these things, I think. But I believe in my heart that this person has Chester's blood on his hands, without a doubt. Yeah. So when people say that Chester was killed, I believe he was, but not in the way that they are saying. I believe Chester was haunted by what happened to him as a child, and that pain followed him through his life, and it just got far too hard to bear. So, rest in peace, Chester. You are so freaking missed. If you or someone you know is suffering from mental health issues, just know there is help available and you are not alone. Tough times affect each of us differently, and it is okay to reach out for help if you need it, or if you're worried about someone else. Maybe encourage them to reach out. We all need a bit of support from time to time. We can't all be strong all the time, right? Whatever support you're looking for, there is a variety of online tools and helplines. You just gotta look. I have struggled with my own mental health really bad in the past, and my family almost lost me at one point. It was horrific. I've done a video about it. It's called Hi, I'm Kate and I'm an Alcoholic. But I got myself better and I'm feeling good. Anyway, this brings us to the end of today's story. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below, and please don't forget to hit the like button, turn on the notifications button, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more of my videos. Port Chester. Also, if you are listening via my podcast and would like to see the video, you can head over to YouTube and type in Kate Sharon True Crime. You'll find me. Might have to scroll a little bit because I'm like somewhere down the bottom. But you'll find me, Kate Sharon True Crime. Thank you so much for taking the time. It's a hard subject, right? And can you guys like not report this video? Because every time I talk about like mental health stuff or like self-harm, somebody dobs me into YouTube, and then YouTube's all like, Katie, you're all right, and then my video doesn't get monetized, and it sucks. So yes, I'm fine. I'm just talking about Chester. If you don't want to watch the video, don't watch it, but don't dob me in. Thanks, guys. All right, I'm out. Gotta go get my son. So long, see ya, Goodbye.
Stay